guys, let's talk about the new reveals on the Tuesday stream. They started revealing some Lyrical Monasterio cards, so it might mean that things are going to get a bit boring. So I might move to other stuff on Tuesday. But they did reveal the last few cards of set 6. So this means it is kind of like a good time to just talk about like the overall like interest of the set before kind of, you know, maybe building decks like tomorrow. So first off, let's go with the lyrical stuff. This is a friend support. So favor to you, Ligdia. Alright, auto Reguard Circle. When this unit boosts a grade through a grade of Vanguard with Fortia in its card name, Soul Blast 2, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets the following effect, which is auto Vanguard Circle. When this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, counterblast 1 until countercharge 1 until the end of turn. So you basically give your restanding Vanguard an on-hit countercharge 1, which is like fine. It doesn't like Soul Blast 2 is a bit heavy. But otherwise, like, you get to it, you have some on-hit pressure, you have 2 chances of, like, hitting and countercharging 1, so I guess that's okay. It's, like, not too bad. The worst thing about this is that you have to boost the Vanguard. So, in terms of space, you wouldn't run too many of this, and at the same time, like, you have to put it behind it. That's basically. So, I don't know. I feel like this is kind of a messy one. The second one we got is Boisterous High Tension Roxella. And this one is actually a friend, all right? So you make things friends, right? So that's basically just the first effect, because the previous one didn't have that friend effect, by the way. And then the second effect is Auto Reguard Circle. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have 3 or more other friends, this unit gets power plus 5,000 until the end of that battle. If you have 5 or more, choose one of your Reguards with the friend ability not in the same column as this unit, and you may return it to the hand. So, yeah, like, I don't know, it seems there's a lot of restrictions on this. There's a lot of restrictions on it, but you know, it's a 15k attacker, and then you know you can return something to the hand, right, to reuse effects. So that's not bad. This can't be the thing that you're like boosting or behind. It can, yeah. So it's okay. This is a triple R though. This is actually a triple R, so it's taking a good slot, right? So, more friend support, I guess, that's okay, right? That's okay. Then the next one we have is Sealed Blaze Dragon Shabda, and this is a mire support, so Bavsagar support. Con Reguard Circle, during your turn, if you have 2 or more arms on your Vanguard Circle, this unit gets power plus 5,000, so 15k attacker. Very simple, right? Very simple effect. Second one is Auto Drop Zone. When your unit is placed from the drop to the Rearguard Circle, if your Vanguard is Sealed Blaze Maiden Bavsagra, counterblast 1 and call this card to the Rearguard Circle. So this is actually kind of interesting, right? Because you just get a free card for a CB1, which is basically the like CB1 equals +1. That's basically this. So when your like Trick Moon comes out and like counter charges, and this comes out and you get a free attacker. Well, not really a free attack, but you counter. You get what I'm saying, right? But it makes stuff. So I guess it's like not bad. Like it's not bad. It seems like it's okay. The deck, generally, Bavsagra is kind of counterblast heavy because you are using arms and things like that. But at the same time, it's also not if you're just wanting to make, like, the game won't go too long if you make 3 columns ASAP and they're all hitting big numbers, right? Your opponent should likely be dead, so you won't be needing all that counterblast anyway. All right, so I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay. This is a double R. So I think it'll be very interesting to see. The problem that I see, though, is that there are already a lot of pretty good grade 2s in the deck that gain a boatload of power that can hit even harder, right? So maybe this is kind of like an iffy one. We'll have to see what it's competing with and what other things are in the slots. That's basically it. Then we got some Lianorn support. So we got Congratulating Performance Sukus, right? Auto Reguard Circle. When this unit boosts a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your opponent's grade 2 or less Reguards not being... It's actually not less. When grade 2 or higher Reguards not being attacked, move it to the Guardian Circle, and if it cannot be moved, this unit gets power plus 5,000 until the end of turn. Yeah, okay, that's cool. The problem here, right? The translation is wrong on Cardfight Vanguard. The card here is like grade 2 or higher, right? It's grade 2 or higher. So if it was grade 2 or lower, I think it might see play in premium, right? Because you can get rid of things like Honolese that kind of stop your multi-attack Stoicheas. But because it's grade 2 or higher, it's not doing much. It's basically like a removal, right? If you move a grade 2, hey, 5k shield, but my Vanguard is really big. It's a grade 3, it's just like free removal. So yeah, that's like okay, nothing too amazing. This card is 5k by itself as well, which is like a really low number when you compare it to other 8ks. It just means when it's like not boosting the Vanguard, it's just really, really bad, right? It's really bad. Again, it does have that restriction of, you know, the effect only works when you boost the Vanguard, so you don't want to run too many of these. It has a bunch of, it's personally not that good. Also, you have to Soul Blast 1. The deck, so far looking at Lianorn, you do use Soul quite a bit, so it's competing in that resource. And the effect, honestly, I just don't think it's that good. I just honestly just don't think this effect is that good. It's like, overall, like the deck as well, the Lianorn deck just isn't that good. But yeah, it's like, it can be a 10k booster. What other 10k boosters are there in Lianorn? There already is. Like the grade 2 gets boost and it's a 10k base. I don't know, right? I don't know. Like it just, this card just, it doesn't feel like like if you have, okay, you have 3 of these in the back row, right? They can all boost the Vanguard, and you can Soul Blast 3 and like remove 3 cards on your opponent's side, but that just seems very low value. Again, it just feels very low value. So I don't know. I think this card is like a wasted triple R slot. I think people have been commenting on how good the triple Rs in this set are. They've been stacked and cracked. This one, not so much. This one, actually, not so much. And then the last card we see is Grand March of Full Bloom Lianorn. So this is just like the supposedly better version of Lianorn, right? Because this is from the booster pack. So act Vanguard Circle once per turn. Draw Counterblast 1. Draw a card. Choose a card from your hand and call it to the rearguard circle or discard it. So, you know, just a nice draw 1 for CB1. That's fine. And the second effect is basically the same as like the TD one. So auto Vanguard Circle, when this unit attacks, Soul Blast 1 and discard a card from your hand. Boost this unit with all your back row stand units with boost. If you boosted this unit with 3 or more units, this unit gets drive +1 into the end of that battle. And at the end of that battle, choose 2 of your back row rear guards and stand them. So, I actually don't know if this is better than the TD one. You get that extra draw effect. The other one, the TD one, gets like power. The long story short, I just want to say, I think Lianorn is pretty bad. I think Lianorn is like not great until it gets some sort of Sentinel restrict. It's just gonna be like a PG deck. I guess, you know, getting a triple drive gives some sort of pressure because you can trigger it over trigger. But yeah, I just don't see it being that good. This is it. I just don't see it being that good. There's nothing that's like just goes in my face and goes, this is a really, really good archetype. Like overall, I think like Greedon is better than this. Greedon's gotten some cool support. You want to hit big Vanguard numbers, Greedon can do that. Greedon can restand the Vanguard, and then the support that it gets now allows you to attack multiple times. So I feel there's like a lot more going for that. Of course, Greedon is a multi-set support card. This is the first set reveal for Lianorn. But it's just like when you compare it to the other cards as well, like, you know, the Youthberg stuff, I think Youthberg is better, and people say Youthberg is not great as well. So, yeah, Lianorn, I'm just not feeling it. I feel like its gimmick is like whatever. It's basically gonna be Asha until he gets like Blue Lianorn or something like that. This deck will be pretty meh. But on the other hand, the good deck I think coming out from this, the best support is actually Nirvana Jiva, right, and Virina. The new grade 3 build for crossover dress seems pretty cracked. It was looking like okay, like missing a card from the previous reveals, but then they revealed Virina Bills, and that just makes like the entire archetype very, very good. And I think it could be quite competitive. I'll be very interested to see the deck, right? The deck. And overall, I think people should be quite excited for it. I think people are looking to be quite excited for it. It's only going to get better from there as well. Like when you think about it, this is the first set of crossover dress. So the next support waves that it's going to get is pretty insane. We'll might make it pretty nutty, and then make it probably compete well with the grade 4 builds. It'll be very interesting to see how the grade 4 builds now will like compete with like the new cards, because one, grade 4 builds are very stable but slower, right? So a lot of players do want to run that kind of build because, you know, it's stable. They can get around the slowness in a way, right? But then to kind of compete with that, you have to make your decks quicker, and that's kind of like the power creep to make like the grade 3 twin drive decks more competitive. Like there is still like good grade 3 twin drive decks right now, right? For example, one of the best ones is like Gravidia, right? Which is still being played a lot, and that's because it can just go off really, really quickly and, you know, put a lot of pressure immediately. But, you know, for the new grade 3 stuff to really compete, they'll need to do kind of the same thing or better, right? Which is kind of scary to think about. And then when you now look at, like, for example, like Lianorn, how this deck compares to the other grade 3 decks, it just feels pretty meh, right? So I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see like the grade 3 decks competing again. Virena, the crossover stuff is definitely up there, I think, in terms of what can compete. Even like things like PBO are showing up, so I think it'll be very interesting. But that is my thoughts on like the new cards, and also like a quick thought on the meta right now. And now that pretty much all the reveals are done, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.